So here we go, ninth inning. Brian Johnson on the verge of a complete game shutout. Fly shot. Bradley racing. He's got it! And that's the ball game. Brian Johnson goes all the way, and the Red Sox win it. What a story.
It seems like a no-hitter. It just has a feel of a no-hitter because of the catch by Jackie. Just an incredible way to end this game.
Great stuff yesterday afternoon at Fenway Park. The Brian Johnson Show from out of nowhere. Great to have you with us today. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner is Red Sox Hall of Famer Jerry Remy and Garen Austin joining us in a couple of moments. Jerry, great to have you back. And yesterday, a very special day. He was spectacular, of course. 9 innings, a ton of strikes. Really a performance to be admired by everyone who saw it. But Jackie Bradley in center field, without Jackie's defense, that doesn't happen yesterday.
Yeah, Jackie's playing terrific defense, as he always does. And when you watch Bradley, you know, in the game yesterday, he had a great offensive game, first of all, with a home run, his 5th home run of the season, and now starting to swing the bat. His numbers aren't where they want to be or where he wants them to be right now, but they're slowly creeping up. But the defense was incredible on this low line drive. I mean, how do you make a play like that? And then the final out of the ball game, going back toward the wall to complete it for Johnson. Just a great all-around effort for everybody in the ball game yesterday. Jackie Bradley, the rest of the Red Sox, and of course Brian Johnson was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic to watch, and good for him. It was, and the Red Sox made it 6 consecutive wins, going for 7 straight today, taking on the Seattle Mariners and looking for the sweep here at Fenway Park. And on the bump, it'll be Rick Porcello trying to make it 7 consecutive wins. Red Sox facing an arduous 10-game road trip, looking to get away with another victory from Fenway. To you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. 47 Fenway Store on the corner of Yawkey and Arthur's Way. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger Program. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Rick Porcello taking the Red Sox out of the diamond, 3-5 coming into today's start. Here's a look at the Mariner lineup he will take on. Brought to you by New England Chevy Dealers. Gene Segura is the leadoff man. Ben Gamble in right field. Robinson Cano at second. Nelson Cruz the DH. Then it's Kyle Seager, Danny Valencia, and Guillermo Heredia. Gerard Dyson in center field. And Carlos Ruiz is the veteran catcher. He is batting ninth. Facing the Sox starter, presented by New England Audi Dealers, Porcello is 9-0 in daytime starts since the beginning of last year. Here's Ella Hall from Rochester, New York, with the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Thanks Thanks, Mr. Remy. In the infield, the third baseman is Devin Marrero, shortstop Xander Bogaerts, Dustin Pedroia at second, and Mitch Moreland at first. Left to right in the outfield, Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Mookie Betts. Sandy Leone is behind the plate, catching Rick Porcello.
Ella, you are terrific. The umpires are brought to you by Toyota's website for deals. Buyatoyota.com. Mike Everett with the balls and strikes. Baker, Blakeney, and Dreckman around the bases. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
And here's the weather brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other. Some cloud cover here all of a sudden. 65 degrees. Wind is in from right field at 12 miles per hour.
How you doing, Dave? Long time since I've seen you. 4 days.
You know, I missed you.
Yeah.
Missed you. I'm glad you're with us on the upcoming road trip. It's going to be a long one. And Segura takes down low ball one. He's hitting .337, 4 homers, 20 runs batted in. Fenway's still buzzing over what we saw yesterday. And Brian Johnson's performance with his family in the stands to go all the way like that, Jerry, so unexpected.
Now it's a great afternoon for Brian Johnson, a great afternoon for the Red Sox overall to pick up another win and get an outing like that.
So Porcello trying to follow that up. Segura, one of the better leadoff men in all of baseball. And he can really hit over 200 hits last year in the National League.
Yeah, last year Porcello faced Seattle twice, was 1-1 with a 3.21 ERA, 14 strikeouts in 14 innings against the Mariners.
This is a very pesky leadoff guy. Up the middle for a base hit. He's tough to put away. So Segura is on in front of Gamble. Time for our twisted but true fact. Brian Johnson became the first Red Sox pitcher to toss a shutout of at least 9 innings in a Fenway Park debut since Pedro Martinez in 1998, which was also against Seattle. Twisted tea tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted.
Now Segura at first base can run. He does have 6 steals, but the problem is he's been caught 5 times so far this season. Playing in very close at third is Devin Marrero.
Ben Gamble at 283. Red Sox have been getting off to quick starts throughout this 6-game winning streak and keeping the other guy from doing the same thing.
See how tight Marrero is at third base, almost like he's expecting a push punt down that third base line.
The 0-1 with a runner going. Here's Leone's throw and the tag. He is out.
Now that was not even close at second base. Leone has thrown out 38%. They're just waiting here. The tag up on the chest before the hand gets in the bag. Bogaerts had to wait on him. And that was almost like a pitch out, except it was a low pitch out. So very well done by Sandy Leone. And that percentage for Segura not very good.
I should say so. 1 down and a pop-up. Should be on number 2. Pedroia is wearing that compression sleeve on that arm after getting nailed by a pitch yesterday. 2 down. Robinson Cano will be next. Sox right now 27-21. 2 games behind the Yankees, who are underway right now against Oakland. How about Baltimore? The bottom is falling out on the Orioles. They've dropped 6 in a row.
And the Red Sox will see the Orioles on this upcoming road trip for 4 games.
Red Sox now with a 1.5 game lead into second place over the suddenly third place Orioles. Cano 290 with 8 home runs. Pretty good numbers lifetime against Porcello. He's 10 for 30 with a home run.
Yesterday the ball game, Cano striking out in the 9th inning, gets a nasty fastball on the outside part of the plate. Not much you can do with that at all except admire it. Nelson
Cruz on deck. No score here in the first. Sox trying to make it back-to-back sweeps here at home. Red Sox now 17-9 at Fenway. And outside for a ball.
Red Sox put the shift on Cano. 3 men on the right side. Pedroia back on the grass. Only Bogarts left on the left side of the infield.
The 1-1 from Porcello. That tied him up.
That looked like a cut fastball that time with a lot of movement on it from Porcello going down and into Cano.
Cano's had a cool series. Red Sox have done a good job at a ballpark he typically loves to swing the bat in. And a 1-2 will miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The right-hander 6-4 lifetime against Seattle, a 3.69 ERA. Rolled foul by Cano.
Yeah, Cano's in a little bit of a slump right now. 0 for his last 9. You don't see that very often with Robinson Cano. 0 for 8 in this series. But you see the numbers at Fenway. 334.
They talked about it in his days with the Yankees when we saw him a lot here, of course. And 9 times a year. How fond he was of Fenway. Flies that one down the left field line, headed to the wall, deep into the corner, and high off the monster for an extra base hit. Cano will trot into second base with a double.
And Cano that time takes a high fastball, a ball that was up and away from him from Porcello, and takes it to the opposite field off that left field wall. You can see the location of that pitch. It was up above and maybe out of the strike zone, but able to plant it against the left field wall for the 2-out double. So just as I mentioned, he was 0 for his last 9. That stops.
489th career double. So that'll send up Nelson Cruz. 282, 12 home runs, but in the first inning, Johnson went at him and got him. He struck him out. In the 4th inning, that's when Betts went all the way back to take it back. That was headed over the wall into the bullpen. So Mookie made that outstanding play. Didn't have to leap or anything. He had it timed perfectly. But that was going to be a home run. Jackie Bradley took care of the rest in center field with a Gold Glove day. In there for a strike.
The 2-seam fastball down at the bottom of the strike zone that time for Porcello. That's where he wants to operate with the 2-seamer.
Porcello's had his number. He's only 5 for 31 against the righty. 1-2.
Going for the strikeout right there. That's what Rick does when he wants a strikeout. He elevates that fastball and tries to get the hitter to chase it.
Cano off second, 2 down, and the 1-2. Tried to trim the corner, came up empty at 93. Mike Everett said no. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Porcello was hoping for that one on the outside part of the plate, but just a little too far outside.
Cruz, the #1 RBI man in the American League with 40. And the 2-2. Could not get him to chase it. Kyle Seager on deck. These 3 guys in this part of their lineup, Cano, Cruz, and Seager, have been Red Sox killers in the past. So this is certainly the portion of the lineup you got to be smart with today if you're Rick Porcello. 3-2 breaking ball and a high fly ball into left center. Benintendi underneath. And Rick Porcello, despite giving up a couple of hits, gets through the first inning unscathed, and the Red Sox are coming up. Here's Edward Hall from Rochester, New York, with the Red Sox lineup, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
Thanks, Mr. O'Brien. Leading off for the Red Sox is the right fielder Mookie Betts. At second base, Dustin Pedroia. The shortstop is Xander Bogaerts. Batting fourth in left field is Andrew Benintendi. The DH is Hanley Ramirez. At first base, Mitch Moreland. In center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. The catcher is Sandy Leone. And batting ninth, the third baseman, Devin Marrero.
Edward, beautiful job there. Mookie Betts leading off, 275 with 7 home runs. Then Pedroia and Bogaerts here against the right-hander Christian Bergman. 1-2, a high ERA of 6.30.
Yeah, it's coming off a very shaky start last time out against Washington. 4 innings, 14 hits, and 10 earned runs allowed in that ball game. First time he's ever faced the Red Sox.
He's no kid. He's 29 years old, from Glendale, California. The 1-2. Scooped up by Valencia. Underhand toss to Bergman for a fast out. 1 away.
Let's look at the Mariners defense. They are 4th in the league, only 27 errors on the season. Siegel will be at third base, Segura the shortstop, Cano at second, Valencia the first baseman, Heredia in left, Dyson in center, Gamel in right, and Ruiz doing the catching for Bergman.
Dustin Pedroia 289 to get in with a couple of home runs. 1 for 3 yesterday. Got hit on the arm by a pitch, but he shook that off, stayed in the game the rest of the way. Of course, he's been battling a bit of a sore knee, but this happened right away.
He told John Farrell this morning when he got into the clubhouse he was fine to go, no problems. But that didn't look like it was very comfortable.
You take a shot like that on the arm, the underside of the arm like that, how long before it stops hurting?
No, it's still hurting. It's still hurting today. There's no question about that.
The 1-1. There's a shot. Driven to the wall and left, rising up, and that ball is high off the monster. He wants second base. Pedroia is in there easily with a stand-up double.
One way to make any kind of pain feel better is to get a double high off the left field wall. That looked like it might have been a little cut fastball that stayed inside, and Pedroia takes it off the top of the left field wall and gets in a scoring position with 1 out.
So Dustin has now reached in 13 consecutive games.
And you see the outfield playing it off the wall. Dyson in center field are playing it off the wall and getting it back in.
Sox trying to get on the board right away. They've been doing this consistently during the winning streak. Xander Bogaerts usually right in the middle of it. He's had an excellent homestand, 9 for 21, 6 RBIs. He's hit his first home run of the season on the homestand. Hitting .417 during the hitting streak of 6 in a row. Red Sox about to take off, Jerry, on a road trip, 10 games to Chicago, Baltimore, and New York.
Yeah, tough trip. You know, Chicago not playing all that well, but they have very good pitching. Baltimore we know about, and the Yankees in first place.
Yankees have fallen behind 2-1 to the Oakland A's in the 3rd inning. And that's going to be outside. These cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. During the winning streak, Red Sox have scored 47 runs, allowed only 15. That's a .217 ERA and a high on base percentage. (2-1). That's a strike.
See the advantage of having a man at second base like Pedroia, because you know Cano has to pull himself pretty much out of position. He's trying to hold Pedroia on, and you see the position he's in, so that leaves a lot of room on the right side for Xander Bogaerts.
2-2. Well outside. Andrew Benintendi waiting on deck. Red Sox trying to strike. When they score first this year, the Red Sox are 10 games over 500. 19-9. Got a piece of it.
He was shooting the ball in that direction too. It looked like with 2 strikes on him, going to pitch away, was trying to shoot it to the opposite field. Very shallow is Gamel out there in right field, and especially with 2 strikes on, you can see that he's creeped in a little bit.
Manager Scott Service. His team in last place, 13 games out of first. Line drive, and that's going to get by Segura. Taking off Pedroia. Here's the throw into third, and he dives in safely. Well, Segura was really unsure on that play, and Pedroia had to wait to make sure it wasn't caught.
Exactly right. Pedroia was unsure also because it's more of a line shot, and you got to make sure you're not going to be doubled up. I mean, that's a rocket off the bat right there of Bogarts, but you have to hold up at second base to make sure the ball goes through. And it was not very quick reactions by Segura, as you mentioned, Dave. So Pedroia could only get to third base, but the Red Sox got something going first and third. He had to really scuffle to get to third base with the head first slide.
First and third, 1 down. That's a 7-game hitting streak for Xander. And now Benintendi hitting .279, 5 homers. Red Sox have been running a lot. Bogarts with 8 stolen bases, tied for 8th in the American League. And he has not been caught. Ground ball toward the middle. Cano with it, shovels for 1 on to first, and they turn the double play. So Benintendi hits into the inning-ending twin killing. Nothing doing for the Sox in the first. Trusted source for Red Sox tickets from bleachers to boxes. Ace has the lowest prices to games at Fenway, backed with a 200% guarantee. Visit aceticket.com now or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. No score after an inning. Getaway day for the Red Sox. Last game of the homestand. Line shot, base hit up the middle by Kyle Seager on the very first pitch in the second by Rick Porcello. So right now, Porcello not fooling anybody. 2 singles and a double among the first 5 men he's faced for the Mariners.
And Seager very aggressive, jumping on that first fastball from Porcello right over his head into center field for the base hit. First pitch of the at bat to Seager. You're going to see him set up outside, and that's where the ball actually goes outside, but he hooks it right over the head of Porcello for the base hit.
Sends up Danny Valencia at first base, 242, 4 home runs. Was Seager the runner at first base. Well struck to right, but backing up Betts, plenty of room out there, and he easily puts that away for the first out. Red Sox right now at the longest active win streak in Major League Baseball at 6 in a row. During the streak, the Red Sox with a plus 32 run differential. Really combining offense along with pitching, and the defense has been markedly better.
Yes, it has. It started off very, very slowly for the Red Sox, but it has gotten better, and it's been solidified at third base by Devin Marrero.
And no question as Heredia gets in, and he takes strike one. It's amazing how one guy, picking the ball up, making the good throws on an infield where there had been so many errors at third base. One guy can make such a profound difference. Oh, 1, that wearing in on the knuckles.
And I think the Red Sox are expecting Seager to run. He doesn't have a stolen base, but still the signs are being given between Pedroia and Bogaerts. And it's Pedroia that generally sends the message. If he uses open mouth, that means that Bogaerts will have it. If he uses closed mouth, that means that he's got it. Oh, so they're going to go with Bogaerts covering. 2 strikes, maybe expecting the hitter hit the ball the other way, so that's why they had Bogaerts covering that time. Pedroia staying home. Now he's checking the runner, checking the signs, checking the third base coach, back to the signs, and then he'll make his decision. Pedroia's got it.
1-2, chopper, Bogaerts to the bag. He'll tap second on the first, double play. Side retired. Porcello pitching around a hit. No score to the bottom of the second. Not leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center here at Fenway. The first aid station is located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. Visit bidmc.org. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien with it. No score to the bottom of the second. Hanley Ramirez will start it against Bergman. Then it's Moreland and Bradley. Red Sox trying to win their 7th in a row. And with an opportunity to get within a game of first place If the Sox can win and the Yankees lose to the Oakland A's today, that'll be the case heading into Memorial Day. And tomorrow, David Price makes his first start of the season for the Red Sox against the Chicago White Sox right here on NESN. Chris Sale pitches against his old team on Tuesday night. And then Drew Pomerantz goes on Wednesday. He's coming off 11 strikeouts.
Hanley Ramirez, the only hitter in this lineup today that has seen Bergman before.
One and one on Hanley. There's 1 for 3 off him. Hanley had a good day yesterday, and he's had a decent series. He's always hit Seattle well, and that one's going to run in on him and hit him. And that's the second time he's been hit in these last 2 days. Yesterday, a glancing blow off the top of the helmet.
Yeah, all they're trying to do there is get the fastball inside the Ramirez, which they normally do. A lot of times they like to get it low in him, but that's a real misfire right there. That ball was supposed to be away. And it gets the uniform top of Hanley Ramirez. I mean, that missed the mark by a bunch.
Red Sox already with 3 base runners against Bergman. Now to red hot Mitch Moreland. Mitch has had a fine homestand, 8 for 16 with 5 RBIs. Strike one. Right on the black at 90. Bergman also mixes in a knuckle curve, slider, and a changeup. Seems like everybody's throwing that knuckle curve today.
Yeah, a lot of guys have taken to the knuckle curve.
Nobody alive is throwing it better than the Red Sox closer.
I would have to agree with you on that, Dave.
Mr. Kimbrell, who by the way turns 29 today, so happy birthday to Craig. He's been untouchable. There's a shot. Brilliant play there from the seat of his pants out at second. Not in time for the double play. But Segura's made a couple of great picks in this series, and there's another one.
Yeah, it's highway robbery right there. It took a base hit away from Moreland and almost turned it into a double play. Look at that, outstretched to his left, and then from his knees or from his backside actually throws a strike to Seager, who was covering the third baseman, and they almost turned a double play. But you had to fight everything there. The umpire also. You know, it's tough when the umpires are playing inside on the infield like that, because if you're an infielder, sometimes that ball goes right by him, and occasionally you lose the ball.
And once in a while you'll see an infielder move an umpire, get out of his vision. That was an outstanding play. He's a really fine player that nobody really talks about, Gene Segura. Here's Jackie Bradley. And taking ball one, Jackie at 211. Big home run yesterday. And a handful of sensational catches, including that 9th inning when he made 2 of them. The first one in particular, that bullet hit right at him for the second out in the 9th. But Brian Johnson, his #1 cheerleader. That one gently hit. Cano will shovel. Segura the out there. Low throw. Dug out. And a double play. The Red Sox have hit into 2 of those in the first 2 innings and were scoreless after 2. At a 2-day family-friendly food festival, Crave Rhode Island. That's June 15 and 16 at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence. For tickets and information, visit CVSHealthCharityClassic.com. Great to have you with us from Fenway. Third inning, no score. Both teams hitting into double plays here early on. Red Sox with a pair of them.
If we can get the overhead camera, we could get a great shot of how close Devin Marrero is at third base and Pedroia, how he charges when the pitch is being made. They're expecting a possible bunt. Dyson has that kind of ability and that kind of speed. So they go into their prevent bunt defense.
He leads the American League with 14 stolen bases. He lashes that one foul.
Now Marrero can drop back. You see Pedroia coming in there. He's responsible if he drags the ball towards second base to get it. So that's why he's playing so close. But you see what the bunting ability does. It changes the whole defense.
One, 2 to Dyson, a former Kansas City Royal. He stings it. Pedroia can't get to it. It's a base hit. Another hard hit ball. So Dyson is aboard. Ruiz up next. Let's go downstairs to Guerin.
Thanks, Obi. Pablo Sandoval was in the clubhouse today. He was here to work out and for a workup. Now, Sandoval will stay with Pawtucket to get a few more additional games under his belt. John Farrell said he's made a lot of progress, but this is really the first time that he's played back-to-back 9-inning games in about 5 weeks. But guys, Farrell did say Sandoval would like to be back with this team, but he's realistic about the amount of time that he's missed. And part of the decision was how good Marrero has been at third.
I would have to think that's true, and John Farrell has really been lauding his performance. As Ruiz takes a strike. That report brought to you by Xfinity X1. So 6 games so far, just 3 for 21. Don't you feel like when he comes back, makes a lot of sense that he has his swing in order, because this is a very serious shot for him. He has got to perform this time.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, even though he may be physically ready, the numbers don't indicate that, you know, his timing is there yet. They're interested obviously in his defensive play, and they want to make sure that's all on the same page, because he will get the opportunity to play. There's no question.
It's a must that he performs well, and there's a looper toward right. That'll settle down for a base hit. Dyson to second. He'll apply the brakes. The throw and the tag, but won't get him, as he barely got back in there. But back-to-back singles here off of Rick Porcello.
A nice little inside out swing that time by Ruiz to the opposite field to pick up the base hit. And Mookie Betts charging that ball, comes up firing back to Bogaerts, who tries to get that tag on Dyson, who had rounded second base. You see he's reading it to make sure it's not going to be caught. Now he rounds. Here comes the throw. Bogaerts with the backhanded attempt, but Dyson on the bag.
2 on, nobody out. Rick Porcello has allowed 5 hits, and in fact leads the American League in hits allowed. Here's Segura. He started it with a base hit and was caught stealing on the chuck by Leon. Now Porcello really wants another double play ball. It's a tough guy to double up too. He's very quick.
Yeah, the Red Sox were kind of in a half bunt defense right there, where they have the third baseman Marrero. You'll see him in on the grass, and he'll tilt a little bit toward the pitcher, which gives him the option, you know, of going back to the bag or charging the ball.
And the 0-1 from Porcello. Left it downstairs.
You know, from that position where he's set up at third base, you have the opportunity to watch home plate, but also watch that runner at second base to see if he takes off. Remember, Dyson has speed. He's got 14 steals. So you got to be ready for both opportunities, the bunt and also the stolen base.
So a lot of speed at second, speed at home plate. The 1-1. A trickler. Bogaerts gets the out at second. No throw by Pedroia. And they're going to be safe on the corners with 1 away.
You can read that, you know, the ball's not hit enough to turn over a double play, especially against a guy that runs by Segura. So All the second baseman does there is fake like he's going to throw to first base and hope to catch the runner rounding third. You'll see Pedroia, he knows he's got no chance for a double play, so it's a fake throw, but Dyson does the right thing. He doesn't get trapped at third base.
So one away for Gamble, who's 0 for 1. He's popped up to second. Porcello coming off a victory 11-6 on Tuesday against Texas. He did give up 11 hits and 5 runs, but he didn't walk anybody, and he got the W. That's across for strike one. He started him out with a curveball. Now the Yankees now out in front on Oakland 5-2. They're in the third inning. No score in this one in the third, but 2 men aboard and the 0-1 pitch. He drills it in there at 93. Cano on deck. Porcello has yet to strike anybody out. Gamble just gets a piece of it at 93, a four-seamer.
Tomorrow at 1, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. Adam Pellerin and Steve Lyons will have a look at the Red Sox Memorial Day memories and preview the 10-game road trip.
Again, the 0-2 to Gamble. And he gets time from the home plate on Mike Everett. Speed on the corners and the 0-2 pitch. Runner goes from first, and it's lashed foul out of play by Gamble, so Segura was taken off.
Well, you know, the reason you're seeing so much running, and you're probably going to see it on both sides, is because both guys are sinker ball pitches. So there's been a lot of contact against Porcello. So you start the runner to try to stay away from a double play that's going to end the inning. You see the jump at first base, the foul ball, so he'll have to return. And in the other dugout, John Farrell's seeing the same thing, a couple of double plays early in the game, so maybe he's going to start some runners to avoid those double plays.
Red Sox have hit into 2. Seattle hit into 1 in the second inning. Porcello gets a lot of double plays. The 0-2. He just blew him away at 93. 2 down.
Now, that's what we talked about earlier in the ball game. When Porcello needs a strikeout, that's where he goes, upstairs in the attic with the fastball. And that's exactly what he wanted. Obviously, the double play would have been nice, but the strikeout, that's where he wanted to do that time, pick up the strikeout, so he elevates the fastball. That's how he gets most of his strikeouts.
But now the always dangerous Robinson Cano, who doubled down the left field line off the monster in the first inning.
Right down that left field line off the wall for the 2-base hit back in the first inning.
Runners at first and third, 2 away, scoreless in the third inning. He deals strike 1. Now Cano, despite the injury to the quad that had him on the DL for 10 days, has driven in 29 runs in his last 32 games. So Porcello will be as careful as possible here. Cruz on deck. And a 1-strike pitch. That one ate him up in tight.
Yeah, good cut fastball that time, or a slider, one of the two, but it really had a lot of break on it, down and in to Cano. That's a great spot right above the ankles.
Well, the strikeout of Gamble came in a good spot. His first of the day. Now trying to do the same to Robinson Cano, the 7-time All-Star. And now Leon would like to visit the mound for a little chat. Think Energy, powering Fenway, and a smart choice to power your home. Visit thinkenergy.com to enroll today. Nothing in, 2 to Cano. Dyson at third and Segura at first. Oh, 2 coming.
That's a two-seam fastball right there. That what Porcello wanted to do is throw that inside and have it come back and tail to the corner of the plate and kind of freeze Cano, except that it ran high and he was able to foul it off.
Cano with 24 career home runs against the Red Sox.
He's going for the strikeout right here.
And time is granted, and granted very late by the home plate ump Everett.
Yeah, I don't blame you, John. That was too late. And this is a long time right here to be waiting to give a timeout. He just made the timeout call, and the umpire gave it to him immediately.
0-2. Broken back ground ball, and Pedroia will gobble that up and get him. Porcello's been in trouble in the first 3 innings, but he's been Houdini. Despite 5 hits, no score. The #1 mobile app for live Red Sox baseball. Stay connected. Get Red Sox home screen icons, app features, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Scoreless into the last half of the 3rd inning. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin with you here from Fenway. Sox looking to make it 7 straight wins. Sandy Leon to lead it off here against Christian Bergman, who's gotten 2 double plays turned for him.
Something you don't see very often. Now we see the shift. That's not unusual. But look where Segura's playing. He's also in the outfield and center field. And that's because Leon doesn't run well.
3-0. Bergman broke in with Colorado 3 years ago. Pitched for them last year. And that's going to be ball 4. So the leadoff man is on for the 2nd inning in a row.
Tonight at 10 p.m. on NESN Sports Today, we'll have in-depth analysis of today's Red Sox game and preview David Price's season debut against the White Sox. And many more stories. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank.
Marrero hitting 176.
Now, if you're sick of seeing double plays, not a bad time to hit and run with this combination.
Took a strike indicating a bunt. And Marrero snapped a career-long 5-game hitting streak yesterday by going 0 for 3. Hit a 2-run homer on Thursday, 2nd of his career. It was a bullet up into the monster seats, and he'll take outside.
They're gonna put it on. They possibly could put it on the 1-1 count.
Betts on deck. Nobody out. A man on. That's a strike.
Now you take the hit and run off the table now. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Leon with a tiny lead at first base. 2-2. Red Sox have scored the first run in the game each of the last 9 games. Red Sox 19-9, scoring first this season. 8-12 when the opponent scores first. And a 2-2 to Marrero. Grounded to Seager. To second. To first. Another double play. The Red Sox have already hit into 3 of those today. 5-4-3.
Now this very routine as Seager, as you can see right here, gets the very good bounce. One little crow hop step, and Cano, he's just so smooth around that second base bat. Tremendously strong throwing arm from any angle.
2-time Gold Glover. Now Mookie Betts with the bases empty and 2 down. Mookie 0 for 1. He's grounded out. Betts on the homestand. A bit of a cool 4 for 20. 0 for his last 8. And a 1-1 looked to check his swing, and he did, says Jordan Baker. This is a team he's very fond of hitting against. He had a 10-game hitting streak against Seattle. It came to an end on Friday. 333 lifetime against him. Betts looking to get on in front of Dustin Pedroia. No score, 3rd inning. And that's in there for strike 3. A rare strikeout for Betts. Red Sox bring up only 3 men in the 3rd.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are
Clubhouse. Nesson looking for youth baseball and softball teams for Nesson Clubhouse. Enter your son or daughter's team visiting NessonClubhouse.com for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Top half of the fourth inning underway. Red Sox nothing and Seattle nothing. Nelson Cruz starting it. He's 0 for 1 with a fly to left. Debating that call with Mike Everett, who's heard a couple of squawks today. One ball, one strike. Cruz, then Seager, then Valencia. Porcello could really use a clean and a quick inning. Fly ball on a broken bat into left field, and Benintendi coming on. One man out.
I think Porcello may have got away with one there. That was a bit of a hanging curveball that time from Rick, and it sounded like it got toward the end of the bat of Cruz. But this is not where he wants to leave the curveball. He wants it down, but look how it stays up in the zone. But fortunately, you could see Cruz upset with himself because he knew he missed a good pitch to hit right toward the end of the bat, and the little pop up to left field.
One out. Seager ripped the line drive base hit up the middle his first time. He really crowds the plate. And Porcello's never been bashful about throwing in. Overshift around to the right with Pedroia in the shotgun in shallow right field. Mariners do have 5 hits. Here's the 2-0. High fly into left field, driving back Benintendi, turning around. That's off the green. Seager to second base. The throw won't get him. He's 2 for 2. That is the second double Porcello's allowed.
That ball did miss a home run by very much too. Good power shown to the opposite field by Seager there as he goes off the top of the wall. That's that fastball, two-seam fastball that stays up in the zone into the opposite field and very high off that wall. Well played by Benintendi, but no chance at second base. And Seager was hustling all the way, knowing in this ballpark you've got to hustle all the way to get a double.
Now, Seager's a guy who really gives the Red Sox fits. He came in hitting .317 lifetime against Boston. Here's Valencia. Hard hit, base hit into left field. Seager will advance to third. He will stop there. So the hits keep on coming for Seattle. They now have 7.
That's one of the problems. Base hits to left field at Fenway. No guarantee you got to score the man from second base. Even though he's off on contact, I mean, still the ball is in the glove of Benintendi before he even reaches third base. So you can't send him.
So a 6-game hitting streak now for Valencia. 1 for 2 today. Heredia next. He was hit into a double play, a 6-3 twin killing in the second, so he's 0 for 1. Now Porcello would take that again to get out of the inning. He has not had an easy frame.
Again, we can go back to looking at who's responsible. This is a first and third situation, double play in order. And if the runner takes off at first base, who's going to do the coverage at second base? Pedroia checking at first base. He checks everywhere. Checks the third base coach. See what the signs are that he's putting down. Make sure he checks the catcher. They get the sign. That means Bogaerts has it. You go by counts, you know, and sometimes if it counts like 0-2 like it is now, he may want to stay home, Pedroia. He may have Bogaerts cover, even though he's a right-handed hitter up. Now we missed it. Somebody got in the way.
Just don't want to yawn at the wrong time.
Nah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you look at that, when you hear the puck, you know, the second baseman's not yawning. He's giving a sign.
Game within the game.
That's critical that you make the right decision there, because you could open up a hole. Looks like Pedroia's got it. Me.
Bounced and right by Leon. Here comes a run. Seager will score, and down to second base moves Valencia, and that'll make it 1-0 Seattle.
Now the wild pitch tried to snap off. It looked like maybe a cut fastball or slider, and bounces and caroms off the shoulder of Leon all the way to the backstop. So that's going to allow the run to come in, and the first run of the ball game comes in on a wild pitch.
And Valencia into scoring position. Takes away the double play, and the 2-2 to Heredia. Inside for ball, now 3-2.
Porcello wants him to ask at first base. They do, and they say no swing. And not even close to a swing that time.
The radio with a little 4-game hit streak going, the 3-2. He spoiled that one. Radio played for 6 seasons in Cuba before making his U.S. debut last year. Came in hitting .288. 1-0 Seattle in the 4th. Payoff pitch, and he walked it. First of the day for Rick Porcello, first and second with 1 down, and Dyson next.
Tomorrow at 1:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. Adam Pellerin, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons will preview tomorrow's starter David Price, who will be making his season debut. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
So 3 more base runners in this inning against Rick Porcello. Trying to get out of this without any more runs. It's the speedy Dyson who singled his first trip.
Yeah, this is tough stuff, because you get a guy that can run. If he hits the ball on the ground, you've got to cheat in a little bit and be quick.
Past him for strike 1. Dyson, former Kansas City Royal, stole 30 bases for the Royals last year. As part of their championship club. Those days appear to be over for the Royals. They're in last place in the AL Central, and maybe looking to deal some players. And the count quickly 0-2.
Well, they got a lot of guys that are going to be free agents, right?
They do.
They're not going to hold on to those guys.
Yeah, their window looks like it's closed. They may be the deal in Kansas City Royals by the trade deadline. Valencia and Heredia leading away, the 0-2. Foul tipped and held by Leon. He struck him out.
Now power pitching right there by Porcello, not fooling around. 3 straight fastballs to Dyson to pick up the strikeout. That was supposed to be inside. It sailed up and away, but still very effective.
Out number 2. Second strikeout for Porcello. So here's Carlos Ruiz, longtime National League catcher. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit. A really good offensive catcher for a long time with the Philadelphia Phillies. Right now scuffling a bit at 149 without a home run.
Leon out in front of home plate, giving signs to his infielders on which one, if there's a double steal, where he's going to throw. Third base or second base.
1-1, and every time a Red Sox pitcher strikes out a Mariner player, Lexus will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. 2 of them so far for Porcello. Two on, 2 out. 2-1. Segura on deck. Porcello would love to save him for next inning. The count has gone to 3-1. Has walked a man in this inning. He's allowed a double and a single. And the first run, the Mariners in front 1-0. A good count for Ruiz, and he swings, and it's a base hit into right field. Valencia will be held at third as the throw is hustled in, and the bases are going to be all loaded up here for Seattle.
That's an excellent charge put on the ball by Mookie Betts out in right field, and you know they were waving the runner home, but when they saw where Betts got that ball and how quickly he got it, they had to put the brakes on. But look at Betts charge that ball, and they were waving him home, but then say, no, you can't go, you got to stop. He's already got the ball coming in. And you see the third base coach waving him home, then, whoa, nope, put the brakes on. He got it in too quickly. So that could be a big play.
Carl Willis out for a mound visit. Manny acted there at third, wary of the Mookie Betts arm, but the bases are loaded up. And these ground balls are finding holes against Porcello. He's allowed 8 hits already. Boys and girls ages 5 to 13 can enjoy Red Sox baseball camps this summer. Campers are receiving 4 days of first-class baseball instruction and a lot more. Camps available in Providence and throughout the Boston metro area. Visit redsox.com/camps for more information. Here's Segura, a base hit. He's also hit into a force play. No place to put him. 2 down, 1-0 Seattle in the 4th inning. He takes ball 1. Valencia at third, Heredia at second, Ruiz at first. Segura, the number 2 hitter in the American League. 1-1. Mike Trout, number 1, by the way, hitting .342. Xander Bogaerts is third at .333. All loaded up with 2 down. On the corner, tough pitch.
And Segura didn't like that, but it did have a piece of the outside corner, and with that call, that puts them in the hole 1-2. Hitters do not like to be 1-2, but that's that 2-seam fastball that comes back. You give up on it as a right-hander, it comes back to pick up the corner. And now Leon discussing what they want to do on the 1-2 count. Leon may not even put down a sign here. They probably already decided what they want to throw. No sign.
Porcello's been in trouble all day. Here comes the 1-2. And he could not get him to offer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That would be a major victory for Porcello if he can escape this inning with only 1 run. He has not been sharp. Inside for ball 3, so the count is full.
And that means everybody moves on the 3-2 count. Ball in the gaps, could score 3 runs.
They lead all the way around. Here comes the 3-2. Runners go, and he got him. He struck him out. Well, he made a couple of big pitches on Segura, who wasn't in love with the strike zone, but he leaves him loaded. 1-0 Seattle. Break brought to you by T-Mobile. David Price making his season debut tomorrow on Memorial Day in Chicago. Here are the most strikeouts since 2010 in the big leagues. Max Scherzer, 1730. Then Kershaw, Verlander, and then Mr. Price at almost 1,500 in front of Felix Hernandez, who's injured right now for Seattle. And we did not see him in this series. Red Sox are seeing Christian Bergman. Came in with an underwhelming resume, but so far has held the Sox to 2 hits. 1-0 Seattle. Pedroia doubled his first time up, ripping one off the monster, and he'll look at a strike here. Top of the inning could have been worse. Porcello got out of it by striking out Segura with the bases loaded. Pretty evident that Rick Porcello does not have his best stuff today, but down only 1-0. Bogarts on deck, and then Benintendi. And a fastball will miss outside. Bergman's 2-2. Breaking ball and hit to right field for a base hit. Tried a curveball, and Pedroia is now 2 for 2. Time for our Xfinity X1 report as we send it down to Garen Austin.
Thanks, Obie. I'm here with some very special guests. This is Maybelle, Shirley, and Mary, and they all played in the Professional Girls Baseball League, and they are here promoting the 25th anniversary of a league of their own. Maybelle, tell us, what did you like about the movie A League of Their Own?
Oh my God, I loved it. It portrayed us so much, and it was about 90% accurate.
And what was your favorite part about being in the league?
Oh my God, be able to play professional baseball. Anything to with a baseball, we're happy. My God, we live and die baseball.
Yeah, so when you come here and you're watching the Red Sox, how much do you miss it?
Oh, my God, you have no clue how much I miss it. Because I'm 90, and it doesn't matter because I'm 90, but I just still love to play. I think I can still go out there and play.
I'll bet you probably could. Now tell us about some of the activities you ladies did before the game.
Oh, Shirley, tell them what we did. I almost forgot I'm so old.
Oh,
Today
we came here to present the rings to the fantasy camp girls.
And I heard you guys had an amazing time at fantasy camp.
Oh, we did. It's just so to see these girls doing something they absolutely love. It was a great thrill for us.
And how wonderful is it for you ladies to see that all the young women who've taken up baseball because of your influence?
Well, it just thrills us to death because finally the little girls can go out and play in girls' teams instead of playing with Little League if the guys will let them. But I'll let you know right now, they had a home run derby in Cooperstown, New York. 200 boys. Guess who won the home run derby? A girl. And we also, about 3 years ago, we had about 8 boys teams playing in Chino Hills, California. And we put a little girls team in. Guess who the champs were? The girls. We can keep up with the girls, I mean the boys, as long as, you know, we're about 12, 13 years old and still beat the heck out of them. But then they get stronger and what have you. So what we're trying to do now is get a league of our own again. And we're working very hard towards these goals to let all the girls have an opportunity.
Well, that's fantastic. We really enjoy having you here. And I have to ask you, favorite ballpark?
Oh, my God, nobody compares to Fenway Park. You put your foot inside, just step in it, and you can see Ted Williams, Johnny Pesky, Bobby Dorr, Little Dob, Freddie Lynn, and I could go on for hours about the Red Sox.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. Obi, we'll send it back to you.
Karen, ladies, thank you very much. She knows her stuff. Benintendi will climb in with a runner at first base and 1 out. Red Sox are trailing here 1-0 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Benintendi hit into one of the 3 Red Sox double plays so far today. His first time up. He's trying to get hot again. His average sitting at 278.
That was almost like a pitch out right there. That fastball intended to be away. You could see the catcher jump outside like Bogarts was going. And it wouldn't surprise me that he tries to go. He's got 8 steals on the season, has not been caught.
And back in on his feet. Red Sox with 3 hits. Seattle is 8. Yankees have taken a 6-2 lead over Oakland there in the 5th. Orioles are on in front of Houston 3-0. They're early in their game. Baltimore's dropped 6 consecutive games. Tampa Bay leading Minnesota. Rays are 26-26. That might surprise some. Ground ball in 1 hop to Segura 1 and another double play. Second one for Benintendi today, and the 4th twin killing the Red Sox have hit into. Weekend. Import the NESN Red Sox calendar into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar. You'll get automatic updates, game reminders, and more. Visit NESN.com/schedule to import the schedule today. Is the birthday boy, Craig Kimbrell, number 29. Underway here, the 5th. Red Sox have hit into a season high 4 double plays here this afternoon. Trailing 1-0 to Seattle. Last game of the homestand. Gamble pops that one up. Moreland heading to the tarp and has it. Plenty of room there for out number 1.
On an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors, Charlie hangs out with NHL Hall of Famer and Boston Bruin Ray Bork. Charlie attends Ray's Celebrities for Charity event, but Ray doesn't want Charlie golfing. See what happens when the mad fisherman is challenged to catch bass out on a golf course on an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors tonight at 6:30 on NESN.
Very dramatic read, Jerry.
It's a very long read. Yes, a very long read. I was afraid of stumbling through that one.
I think you've retained your edge. As Cano slams that one foul, he has doubled and grounded out to second. Now Cano last time out granted a very late timeout from the home plate on Mike Everett. John Farrell was not happy with Everett's decision. Then there was a ground out to retire the side. Popped up. Here comes Jackie Bradley. Plenty of time for the second out. Enjoy the Fenway experience with your group in 2017. Group outings, the perfect way to entertain your clients and make it an unforgettable event. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. It was a far less dramatic read than yours. Far less.
You know, my read, I didn't quite know where I was going with it, to be honest with you.
But at one point you felt it.
Yeah.
You really felt it. And you delivered. As Cruz will take a strike.
The only part I really know is the last sentence when it says it's going to be on NESN. I've got that part memorized.
So you sell it. Cruz with a couple of flyouts. Porcello looking for the fast inning. Well, it's good to have you back, and I know you probably packed on Wednesday for the trip.
That's a tough trip back for 10 days.
Yeah. You're counting the suits, the ties.
Rotation of 3 suits. You're going to see it 3 times on this trip.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the warning. Yeah.
Just different shirts, but
yeah,
same 3 suits.
But, I do a little dry cleaning on the road, but I pack a few more suits than you do, a few more ties, as it's flicked foul out of play.
You know, we got the off day in New York, which is a great day and a great place to get your clothing pressed. It comes right at the right time, right for the final 3 days of the road trip. So with that off day in New York, that's like a big day to get your clothes pressed.
Yeah, and when you press them, you know, make sure you bring the checkbook.
It's very cheap. It's very cheap. Very cheap in New York.
To get like one jacket pressed is like $45.
Well, that's where you have room service for $65.
Yeah. Bagel and coffee.
Yeah.
$65. Last time I do that. Next time I'm going to leave the room to go get breakfast. And another timeout granted. This one to Cruz with the bases empty and 2 down. Two. That one golfed into left field. Benintendi back to the track. He'll play it off the 10. That'll be a long single for Cruz as the throw comes back into a diving Pedroia. So Porcello just has not had an easy inning.
Now that shows you right there how strong Cruz is, you know, because that was a changeup. And he just kind of reached down and one-handed that ball off the left field wall. Benintendi getting it back in quickly, which will hold Cruz to the single. But here you see the pitch. It's going to be a changeup, as you can see. And that ball's down in the zone, and he just reaches out, almost hands the ball off that left field wall. Very strong guy.
He's 1 for 3. Seager to step in, 2 for 2, single and a double. He has scored the only run of the game. Seattle with 9 hits. Valencia on deck. 1 run, 9 hits, no errors for Seattle. No runs, just 3 hits and no errors for the Red Sox. I thought by now the Red Sox would have done more with Christian Bergman, who came in with a .630 earned run average. But his last start, as Jerry mentioned, he got shelled as he gave up 10 runs. 2-0 to count on Seager. Seager a few years ago won the Gold Glove at third base in the American League. He has some power. He'll look at a strike. 2-1.
We'll see if Marrero at third base backs up now with the count 2 balls and 1 strike. He's been playing in on the grass in case Seager decides to drop one down in that direction. It looks like he's staying there on the 2-1 count. 2 strikes will go back.
2-2.
Now they'll switch. Bogarts back to shortstop. Marrero to where Bogarts was.
David Price's long anticipated 2017 debut coming up tomorrow afternoon here on NESN at 2:10. Red Sox will be in Chicago to battle the White Sox. Chris Sale goes on Tuesday. Drew Pomerantz on Wednesday. Sale up against his former team. Two coming. Line foul. The Red Sox today did select right-hander Blaine Boyer to the active roster from the Paw Sox to make room. They optioned the lefty Brian Johnson back to AAA following yesterday's game. Three and 2 on Seager. Well, the Red Sox, the players were incredibly happy for Brian Johnson. You saw the looks on their faces, the big smiles after he locked down that complete game shutout victory. Kid's been through an awful lot. What a moment for him. 3-2 runner goes. Waved at and missed. He struck him out to retire the side. No runs ahead, 1 left. We're halfway through. 1-0 Seattle. Red Sox news with NESN's free Red Sox text alerts. From breaking news to in-game alerts, NESN will make sure you're in the know. To sign up, text Red Sox to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Well, as the boys said, Porcello has allowed 9 hits, but only 1 run. So he is not broken. Red Sox are probably very tired as far as hitting into double plays today. Already 4 of them. And Ramirez hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. It got his jersey. And later in the inning, Jackie Bradley hit into a double play. And Bergman's 1-0 pitch almost got him again. And to dance out of the way.
Yeah, that time was a changeup at 82 miles an hour down and in to Hanley.
Ramirez coming into this game a .379 lifetime hitter against Seattle. He lays off. Good eye there. The count goes to 3-0. Bergman has walked 1 man, but of course he erased that with a double play ball in the 3rd inning. Green lighted 84-mile-an-hour changeup.
Yeah, totally expecting the green light on the 3-0 count. Goes to the off-speed pitch.
And the 3-1. Popped him up into left. Charging in Heredia. 1 man gone.
Now, what the story of the day really has been 4 double plays by the Red Sox, 2 by Benintendi. Both of those have been on changeups. And the Red Sox have had some opportunities, but the double play has really hurt them in this game today. Marrero hitting into 1. And there you see Benintendi into the 2nd one. So as we, if you get the right situations, and the right men on base and the right combinations, you got to do a little running. You got to do a little hit running to stay out of these double plays.
Mitch Moreland 0 for 1. He hit into a fielder's choice first time up. Lifts a high fly down the left field line. It is slicing and slicing foul. Noisy strike for Moreland, taking aim at that left field corner. Last 9 games, Moreland has been one of the hottest Red Sox hitters. He's hitting .371 with 10 RBIs in those 9 games. Bases empty in the 0-1. Yankees have taken a 6-3 lead over Oakland into the 6th inning. Orioles and the Astros are locked up 3-3 early in their game. Best record in baseball belongs to the Houston Astros in the American League West, 34-16. The division that Seattle has to toil in. That's the biggest reason that the Mariners, even though they've not played well, are already 13 games out of first place. Hitters count for Moreland. Here comes the 3-1 from Bergman. All filled up now.
2nd time in a row he's got behind hitters, got behind Hanley 3-0. Moreland 3-1. Hanley was flew out, and we'll see what Moreland does here on the 3-2 count.
Bergman, not a guy who throws very hard. In fact, Moreland, when he was in college at Mississippi State. He was clocked at 95 miles an hour. And the 3-2 will miss outside, and he puts him on. So his second walk. Time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Adam Pellerin. Adam, thank you very much. We have not seen any offense quite like that here this afternoon. 1-0 Seattle. Sox have a base runner for Jackie Bradley, who was double up in the second. Red Sox have been held to 3 hits today. Thus far, a sleepy effort by the offense. Jackie yesterday with his 5th home run of the season, his first at Fenway. He is 2 for 7 in the series. Runner goes on a swing and a miss. That throw is in plenty of time to cut him down. And Moreland is out at second. And there are 2 away.
Now that's what we're talking about, you know, starting runners because of these double plays. Unfortunately, Bradley has a high pitch to work with and can't make contact on it. So with that, Moreland becomes an easy out at second base. They're just waiting for him. But, you know, it's what we expected, to try to get some base runners going via the hit and run.
And that's in there for strike 3. That's all for the Red Sox, who send only 3 men to bat in the 5th. 1-0 Seattle. Poll question: who led the Red Sox in saves during the 1967 Impossible Dream year? 1 for Sparky Lyle, 2 for John Wyatt. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. And underway here in the 6th inning, 1-0 Seattle. Valencia with a base hit. He's also flied out. Heredia and Dyson after him. Against Rick Porcello, who's allowed 9 hits. A couple of times it's been close to Seattle really opening up the lead. left the bases loaded in the 4th inning. They've had at least one hit in every inning. They had 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 4th, base hit in the 5th. And Porcello's 1-2 coming. And swung on and missed. Down he goes.
There's a pitch that really was not there for him early in the game, but it's starting to come from now a little bit, is the curveball. A couple of curveballs on that at bat to Valencia, and that curveball picks up the strikeout right there.
Sends up Heredia, who's bounded into a 6-3 double play and also taken the only walk issued by Rick. Bogarts to his left. He guns him down, and they're 2 away. Porcello has not had a 1-2-3 inning.
Edgar Martinez, one of the all-time great right-handed hitters in the game of baseball, the hitting coach for the Seattle Mariners.
Hall of Fame eligible. Been getting more votes the last couple of years. You think he belongs in?
Well, difficult for me to say, but I haven't seen too many better right-handed hitters than him in the game of baseball, and until Manny came along, and then I thought Manny Ramirez was the best right-handed hitter in baseball.
Dyson 1 for 2. He's quickly behind 0-2. Porcello's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. Strike here, and he gets him in order for the first time today. Busted bat, popped up. Xander Bogaerts there. A little hop to set him down. Porcello with his best inning of the day as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Roll and speed past the line with on-the-go ordering. DD Perks, everyone deserves an upgrade. Download the Dunkin' app today. Speeding past the line may not be possible at all locations. Last half of the 6th inning, Christian Bergman has been shutting down the Red Sox offense today. At least to this point, Sox bats have been slumbering. Just 3 Red Sox hits. Sandy Leon to lead it off. into center field, but right at Dyson. It hangs up for the out. One away on one pitch. Pretty well hit by Sandy, but nothing to show for that. Is your backyard ready for summer? Shop the largest collection of quality outdoor furniture at Jordan's Furniture. Get up to 72 months no interest with equal payments and no minimum on anything you buy in the store. One out here in the 6th. And Marrero looking at a strike. He hit into one of the 4 Red Sox double plays so far.
Well, the Red Sox offense surprisingly quiet here this afternoon, and we highlighted all the double plays that they've hit into. That has been part of the reason, but very frustrating to this point.
We talked about Bergman getting shelled his last time out against Washington, but the start before that, he was very good, beating Oakland 4-0. 7 1/3, 9 strikeouts and no runs. That's the guy we're seeing today so far, anyway.
That slotted in, missed by very much either, the outside corner.
Mookie Betts on deck. 2-2. And that's inside the line, of fair ball. Fan went for it, did not touch it. It's going to be a base hit. Marrero guiding that one just inside the bag.
Well, maybe that'll be the start for the Red Sox offense. Base hit between Valencia and the first base line. The ball bouncing right back out to Gamble out there in right field, and it's only going to be a 1-base hit. But at least the Red Sox have a base runner here, and Betts coming to the plate.
You wonder if it's a sign about Bergman, because Leon stung a line drive to start the inning. That was caught. This shot by Marrero well hit, and now Mookie, who's due. He's 0 for 2 today. He's had a pretty quiet series, and he pops it up into right. Long run. Gamble still coming, still coming. He makes the play. Back to first base, Marrero. So Mookie done in on 1 pitch.
That's a tough play by Gamble too, because he's got so far to go to make that catch, and when you're running at full speed, those eyes are bouncing up and down, and sometimes it's very difficult to track the ball. You can see right there a slow start, then had to really turn it on to get there to make the catch. That's by no means is an average play.
Two away. Pedroia trying to pick up his 3rd hit of the afternoon. He has double and single. 1-0 Seattle in the 6th. Sox have won 6 straight. But will the offense wake up in time to make it 7? Fly to center field. Routine play for Dyson. And after a promising start to the inning, that's it for the Red Sox at the end of 6. 1-0 Seattle. The results of our Granite City Electric poll question: who led the Sox in saves in 1967? And the answer is John Wyatt, who led the Sox with 20 saves. He also got 10 wins that year. Rookie Sparky Lyle had 5 saves. The impossible dream year. Ruiz will take one up and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. He singled twice against Porcello today. 1-0 Seattle in the 7th. Porcello's coming off his best inning. So there is activity in the bullpen, and a high fly ball into left center field. Benintendi and Bradley back. That's going to be off the monster. And Ruiz has his 3rd hit today, a leadoff double.
Well, he has been very tough from that 9 spot in the batting order. 2 singles and now the double for Ruiz. Looks like a curveball this time. It is the curveball. And again, you know, Rick has a tough time getting that breaking ball down in the zone. He's got a couple of them today that have just stayed upstairs. And that time Ruiz jumped all over it for the double off the left field wall.
So that is 10 Seattle hits, only the 1 run so far. Robbie Scott, the left-hander, loosening the pen quickly. Here's Segura.
Now, last time Segura struck out in the inning, and he didn't like one of the calls on the outside part of the plate. Then he agreed with the umpire, but then after that, swinging and missing, and any conversation on where the last pitch was. I don't think it had anything to do with the pitch before. He just wanted to know where that last pitch was. Was it a good pitch or was it too high?
1 ball, 1 strike. Segura, one of the better leadoff men in the game. Last year became one of 8 players in Major League history with a season of a .300 batting average, 100 runs, 200 hits, 40 doubles, 20 homers, and 30 stolen bases. And then he got traded.
How about that?
From Arizona. The Diamondbacks now of Torey Lovullo, the 1-1 chop foul. They continue to play well. Fans, be sure to stop by Plain Ridge Park Casino. Plain Ridge Park Casino is just 45 minutes from Boston. Arizona 31-20, just a game out of first in the NL West. Embry has now joined Robbie Scott. This is where Segura becomes very tough to put away. We've seen it throughout the series with 2 strikes on him. Not this time. Down he goes for the 2nd time on strikes here this afternoon.
That's a big out too for Porcello because it leaves that man at second base with less than 2 outs. Looks like the cut fastball that's going to break off the outside part of the plate. Not even close to making contact as Segura that time, and a big strikeout for Porcello.
Gamble now, he's gone 0 for 3. It's been an odd outing for Rick Porcello because there are 10 hits up there. And a lot of these ground balls have found holes today. And yet, he's kept the Red Sox right in it.
You know, to me, Dave, I've said this over and over again. That's a sign of a good pitcher. Now, maybe he doesn't have his best stuff today. And a lot of ground balls, which he wants, have found their way through. Yet, there's 1 run on board. He's given his team a chance to win.
Line drive and a base hit into left field. The runner will be held at third as Benintendi hustles in the throw. So another hit. And they're on at first and third with 1 away for Robinson Cano.
Let's see what they do here. They have Scott loose in the bullpen. Cano coming to the plate. Will that be the afternoon for Porcello? Here's a line shot to the opposite field. Good charge put on by Benintendi. They have to hold the runner. And now out comes looks like John Farrell, and that's probably going to be the afternoon.
Looks like the smart call here with Cano 1 for 3. Pretty good career numbers against Rick Porcello. So he's going to depart. Both of these runners on belong to him, but while he's been on the hill despite 11 hits, he's allowed only 1 run. And now the question is, does he come out? Yes, there's the call. And Porcello done for the day. So Scott coming on to face Cano for the lefty-lefty duel. And a reigning Cy Young Award winner, despite all the hits, did not cave in. Now it's up to Scott. We'll have more in a moment. Brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball. Plainridge Park Casino, 45 minutes from Boston. Subaru Retailers of New England. McDonald's any McCafe Bakery Muffin with any size hot or iced coffee, just $1.99. And by Ford Trucks, built Ford Tough, the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Porcello done for the day, leaving behind first and third, one out for Robbie Scott, who's been awfully tough to hit. 20 appearances, a 1.54 ERA. Usually just a batter or two at a time. And that one hooked foul by Cano, who's gone 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Started him out with a curveball. Cano to double in the first. He's also grounded the second, fly to center.
And Robbie Scott will drop down to the side, both with his fastball and his curveball. And that time Cano reaching out to foul off the breaking ball.
Seattle in front 1-0, and they have a runner at third. He is slow of foot. That is Ruiz, another man at first. And Gamble. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mariners looking to double their slender lead here in the 7th. Ruiz started the inning with a double off the wall, and now Cano wants a time. Cano, one of 3 players with 20 or more home runs each of the last 8 years. The 1-1. That one got in, rattled inside the Red Sox dugout.
Yeah, everybody put on a helmet down there. That thing was rattling around pretty good. That'll shake things up a little bit.
Grin there from John. One and 2 on Cano. Pop foul as he spoiled that one. Came after him there with a changeup. These two men on base belong to Porcello. Ruiz and Gamble. Red Sox have been out hit today 11-4, and it's still a 1-0 game. Scott looking to fan Cano, and a throw to first to chase back into runner Gamble.
Tonight at 6, don't miss the Ultimate Red Sox show presented by AAA. Part 1 of the Christian Vasquez interview with Red Sox historian Gordon Eads. Plays of the week and much more. That's tonight at 6, only on NESN.
Scott trying to put away one of the best hitters in the game. And a pop-up into right field. Charging on Betts, coming on Mookie. He's got it. The runners have to stay put. He lost the cap. That's out number 2.
Well, that's big because, you know, if Pedroia has to make that play going away, there's a great chance the runner at third tags and scores. But with Betts getting a great jump, he'll take it, and from that point, there's no chance of the man to throw. But if Pedroia makes it going away, there's another run on the board for Seattle.
Ruiz couldn't go anywhere. Back to third. So that's it. Scott gets his man. He gets the dangerous Cano. Hembree coming on now to get another very dangerous hitter in Nelson Cruz. We'll see how that works out when we return. Sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. A big threat here for Seattle. They lead at 1-0 in the 7th inning. John Farrell will turn to the right-hander Heath Hembree to try and get Nelson Cruz. Heath coming on with a new hairstyle. His 25th appearance, 0-2, a 3.91 ERA. And Cruz, the #1 RBI man in the American League, sitting there with 40. That'll be strike 1. 2 down. Feels like the most important moment of the game here this afternoon. With runners on the corners. Up the middle, Bogarts suffocates it, trying to go to first. Marlin can't handle it, and a run is in to score. Gamble down to third, and it's 2-0 Seattle.
Now that throw just got away from Bogaerts. He made a great play to get to the ball, going up the middle, diving. But then when he gets up to make the throw, it's going to be a little bit errant toward first base. Pulling Moreland off the bag. Now, if that throw's accurate, they get it out. But I'm going to guess that goes as a base hit and an error. Because with the error, the runner from second goes to third base.
Yep, got to account for him. And Seattle has doubled their lead as Ruiz came in to score.
There's the throw to first base, pulling Moreland off the bag, and that would have been just a base hit, but with that runner moving towards second to third, that includes the error.
And the hitter Seager has had a good day, a single and a double. To run you charge to Rick Porcello. RBI for Cruz. His 41st. So the Mariners on top 2-0. And Hembrey's 1-0 pitch, and that'll be a strike. Red Sox have committed 4 errors in the last 12 games, actually the fewest in the American League over that time. I thought for a moment that Bogaerts was going to get Cruz. High fly ball that's hit toward the triangle. Long run for Bradley, backing up and make the catch over the shoulder for out number 3. However, Seattle gets that all-important second run. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 2-0. Ballpark. The Fenway Gridiron Series presented by Your Call Football. Tickets are on sale right now. Visit redsox.com/gridiron for more information. Fans have had the 7th inning stretch. Sox coming up trailing 2-0. And Jerry, an odd game here today.
It really has been. You know, you look at Porcello and, you know, to me, I mean, he did the job for a good pitcher. You know, he kept his team with a chance to win the game. Now you look at the runs against him. One was a wild pitch. And of course that last run scoring on a great play by Bogarts, which, you know, stopped the base hit going up the middle, but then the throw to first base, of course, was an error. So those are the 2 runs that have scored in a game. They do have 12 hits on the board, but they've only got the 2 runs. The Red Sox offense can't get going. Here's the play we're talking about. It's a great diving play, but then the throw's going to be off target. Now, if it's on target, they probably get him, and that's the last out of the inning. That means the only run that would have scored against Porcello was on a wild pitch.
12 hits for Seattle, but it's not like they were hitting home runs and hitting long bombs against Rick Porcello.
Oh, exactly, and you would expect, you know, with 12 hits, you'd have something like 5, 6, 7 runs on the board maybe, but that hasn't been the case.
All right, one a frustrating one at this point for the Red Sox. Xander Bogaerts will lead things off here as they have activity in their bullpen. Pazos, the left-hander. But Bergman has been tough. Have to give him credit. He's allowed only 4 hits, and he has those 4 double plays. Xander with a single. He's also hit into a fielder's choice. He's followed by Benintendi and Ramirez. So it's the heart of the Red Sox order here in the 7th, and they're getting the 3rd look at the righty. And nothing overpowering. He drops in a curveball there at 76. He's only struck out a couple of guys, but he stayed away from ball 4 for the most part. Just a couple of walks. He has hit a batter.
It's a great number, isn't it? I love, that's my favorite number.
Only the stars wear it.
You know, I don't know about stars, but it always looks good on the back.
It's a neat fit. It should go to a guy who can run.
Yeah, it wears very nicely on Bogarts. Jeter didn't do a bad job wearing it.
Yeah, I would agree. He's now retired in New York. Popped up. Short right. Cano with a play. Coming on Gamble, but the second baseman will haul it in.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. Adam Pellerin and Steve Lyons will break down Rick Porcello's start. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason.
Quiet day for the Sox offense. Mr. Sale getting ready to go on Tuesday against his old team in Chicago. Benintendi has twice hit into a double play. Andrew 0 for 2, 1 away in the 7th. Sign indicate a bunt there to draw in Seager at third base. Two 2-0 Seattle. Bergman's pitch count quite low here with 1 down in the 7th inning. He's not even at 80 pitches. Oh, 2. Red Sox need somebody in this lineup to wake them up. Otherwise, the winning streak's going to end at 6. That's off the plate. 2-2. Red Sox trying to win every game on this homestand. Popped up. That came in on the hands. Down the line now, Ruiz. Seager as well, and Seager takes it for the second out. Couple of pop-ups here in the 7th.
As Seager that time, as he's heading for the pop-up, checking out third base, he didn't want to trip over the bag. and then made a very easy catch on the pop-up once he cleared himself of the third base bag. And watch Seager go over and take a look. He's going to look down. There it is. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I got it.
Hanley today has been hit by a pitch and he's flying to left, 0 for 1. Nobody on base, 2 away. Red Sox with a mere 4 hits against Christian Bergman. High fly ball again into left center field, and Heredia says he has it. And that will do it. Red Sox go very quietly in the 7th. Ball and Nesson is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Now back at Fenway, it's 2-0 Seattle. Even though they've left 9 men on base, they've only managed the 2 runs. So Red Sox still in it as we go to the 8th inning. Danny Valencia leads things off 1 for 3 with a base hit. Then it's Heredia and then Dyson. Only one time today have the Mariners been retired in order. That was in the 6th inning. Porcello's best inning of the afternoon. Right now Rick Porcello on the hook. Both runs charged to him. Rick was on the hill for 6 1/3. One-0 to Valencia will sink in there for strike. Oakland putting up a fight in the Bronx. They've closed it to 7-5. Yankees on top by 2. Astros are beating up the Orioles again, 8-3 in the 5th inning. Baltimore.
Yeah, good slider right there by Hembree as we look at the scoreboard. Hembree going to the slider to the outside part of the plate, just off the outside edge for the swing and miss.
One-two coming to the middle. Bogarts with the spin from the grass gets him.
Well, that time Bogarts did not have to dive for the ball. He got to it standing up, and then from that point he's able to make the spin, complete spin around to first base, get lined up and make that accurate throw to get the out. Nice play by Bogarts. Makes all the difference in the world when you don't have to rush your throw to first base.
as he did in the 7th. On that second run scoring by Seattle. Here's Heredia. He is hit into a double play, grounded out, and walked. 0 for 2. Red Sox are headed for Chicago tonight. And the start of a 3-game series with the White Sox tomorrow afternoon at 2:10 here on NESN. High fly left field and deep. That one's way back. And a home run by Heredia, his 3rd of the season. That'll make it 3-0. Solo shot by their left fielder. So that is going to make it a lot tougher here this afternoon.
Number 3 for Heredia on the season, and a big one right here to make it 3-0 in the ball game.
They're showing some pretty impressive power there. First home run of the day for either side. It brings up Dyson, who's gone 1 for 3 with a single. Sox are getting a Bod active in the bullpen, the lefty. Dyson always a threat to bunt. So Marrero is drawn in at 3rd. Here's the 1-0. And indicating a bunt, but taking a strike.
Again, looked like he wanted to drop that right down the third base line to Marrero.
So now 13 hits for Seattle to the Red Sox 4.
Stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Plain Ridge Park Casino. Adam Pellerin and Steve Lyons will break down the key moments of today's game and preview tomorrow's starter, David Price.
Ruiz on deck. He's been perfect, 3 for 3. And a 1-2 pitch to Dyson. Roll foul. Red Sox starter Rick Porcello went 6 1/3 innings, charged with 2 runs on 11 hits. Fly ball, pretty well hit. That one headed for the wall as well. That'll be off the monster. It's going to be another double. Second hit today for Gerard Dyson, and the 4th 2-base hit for Seattle.
At the bottom of the lineup doing fairly well here for Seattle today. Heredia with the home run. Dyson, he's got 2 hits, a single and a double. Ruiz coming to the plate has 3 hits. There's Dyson taking it up off that left field wall. Been a lot of action off the left field wall today.
Carl Willis with a mound visit. And Ruiz has been a pain in the neck. He's the next man up. A double and 2 singles so far today. 14 Seattle hits, and have so far turned those into 3 runs.
Yeah, now Dyson at second base becomes a threat to steal, especially with 1 out. That's when you like to try to steal third base, because you can get yourself there and score on a sacrifice fly. So the Red Sox are going to have to do something to try to hold him on a little bit, and it looks like it's going to be Bogaerts with that responsibility.
Ruiz has been a good RBI man over the years in the National League. He is 6th this season with Seattle. He'll look at a strike. Pumped in at 95. David Price pitching tomorrow afternoon at Chicago at 2:10. Game 1 of 3 with the White Sox. Chris Sale going on Tuesday night against Jose Quintana, who's 2-6, 4.82 ERA. There have been some stories about Quintana maybe being on the trade block. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Ruiz. Runner goes. Here's the throw. Down low the tag. He's out. I think they may challenge this. See. Ruled out at third base. Service thinking about it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I would expect a challenge here, wouldn't you?
I would too. It looks like the foot kicked Marrero's foot right off the bag, and the tag came very late.
They still haven't said if they're going to challenge it. Yeah, now they want it. Now you guessed right on the stolen base.
Well, that's the time to go, Dave. You know, you got speed at second base, and you want to get the third with less than 2 outs. Now, you know, that's tough because I don't know if his foot ever tagged the bag because he was on top of Marrero's. Now his other foot came around and tagged it, but was that after Marrero had tagged him? You see what I mean about the left foot?
Yep.
It was right on top of the foot of Marrero, so I don't think he tagged with that foot. He definitely did with the other, but was the tag there beforehand?
That was an odd play.
That was really odd.
I can't remember the last time I've seen that because he beat it. He beat the throw.
He definitely beat it.
But his foot got stuck on top of Marrero's foot. So he didn't touch the base. Not with the initial slide with that foot.
Yeah, I think right here.
Or did he get a piece of the?
His foot comes off the bag, as you can see. Now, the tag comes on the foot. The other foot that's coming into the bag. So, you know, this could possibly hold up as an out. It all depends on what they determine with that front foot. Did he get the bag? He's off the bag there. There's no question about that.
Well, I'd love to have the third base umpire Dreckman with a microphone there. They're going to rule him out. So they uphold the call. And Dyson is cut down at third.
Well, you know, on our replays, Dave, it looks like they made the right call because that front foot did not get, it made contact with Marrero's front foot. It never got the bag.
Right.
So the question was the tag on the back leg before it hit the bag? That's the question. And apparently, according to replay, it was. See, he hits the bag, but he comes off it.
So 2 down. 2-2 on Ruiz. Bases empty. Seattle leading 3-0 in the 8th. Sox are running out of chances to get the offense in gear. Moreland, Bradley, Leone due up when we go to the bottom of the 8th. And the payoff pitch to Ruiz. And a dribbler, and that one gloved by Hembree, and an easy play for out number 3. Another run for Seattle on the home run by Heredia, 3-0. Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment honoring the 07 Red Sox World Championship. 49th game of the year. The Red Sox beat Texas 6-5. Dustin Pedroia was a rookie, and he and Jason Varitek each hit a home run in that game. Red Sox going on to win the whole thing. James Pazos coming out of the bullpen now for Seattle. We'll see if this makes a difference, because the Red Sox did nothing with Christian Bergman as he went 7, allowing just 4 hits and no runs. And this is Sam Travis, who's just made his major league debut this week. On Tuesday, made his big league debut Wednesday with a start at first and collected a couple of hits. I should see him tomorrow against the left-hander Quintana.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be that type of situation for the Red Sox. Moreland against right-handers, Travis against left-handers.
That'll be on Tuesday. Quintana going against Sale. White Sox haven't announced who they're pitching tomorrow. So Travis to lead off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 3-0 deficit for the Red Sox. He'll be followed by Jackie Bradley and then Sandy Leon. Travis hitting for Moreland. Mitch today went 0 for 1 with a walk. And a left-hander, the former Yankee, with a 1-0. And a pop-up into right. Routine play for Gamble. And 1 away. Look at the road ahead here, presented by People's United Bank. Red Sox taking to the road. And it's a bear of a trip on to Chicago for 3, Baltimore for 4. A day off on Monday, and then 3 against the front-running New York Yankees. Chris Young has a bat. Now he's going to hit for Jackie Bradley. So John Farrell going to the bench here in the 8th inning. And here's your counter move as Service comes out to the hill. So he's going to want a right-hander for Young. Wheels are turning for both skippers. 3-0 Seattle. And we'll be back at Fenway in just a moment. Christian Bergman's pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. He went 7, just 4 hits, walking 2. He was very tough, 83 pitches, very economical too.
Certainly was, and quite a surprise. You know, you looked at his line from his last outing, you say, well, maybe the Red Sox will put some runs up on the board today, but he was very good in this game.
And he can win it. Nick Vincent coming out of their pen where he's been good. 21 appearances, a 2.49 ERA. He's retired 54 of the last 67 batters he's faced. Nobody on. Young will hit. Hitting in Jackie Bradley's spot. Chris hitting 263 with a couple of home runs. Red Sox trying to climb into this game, down 3-0. Leon on deck and the 1-0. Late today, the White Sox did announce who they're going to pitch in game 1 of the series tomorrow in Chicago, and it is a left-hander, David Holmberg.
Chris Young 3 for 8 so far this year as a pinch hitter.
One and two.
That ball was supposed to be inside, but caught the outside part of the plate, but plenty of the plate. You can see the catcher setting up inside, has to reach across his body, but still a strike on the outside corner.
Two and two on Young. Sandy Leon on deck. Fernando Abad still warming in the Red Sox pen. Sox 6-game win streak is on the line here today. Fan made a nice play here on this one. But barely. And a hug to boot. The 2-2 to Young. And he would not chase it. A full count on Chris. The 6 games before today, the Red Sox had drawn 33 walks. Struck out just 37 times. That's torched down the line. That's a fair ball into the corner. Young takes a wide turn, but Heredia got to it, and it was hit stiff. That is a long single.
Well, 4 for 9 is a pinch hitter now for Chris Young. That's a tough job to do, but he's doing it very well. Looks like he gets a cut fastball right there, right down the middle, and a top spin line drive right down the left field line. Actually, I thought that ball was going to hook foul, but it just barely stays in fair territory. Young had to hold at first base.
One of the best swings of the day for the Red Sox, and here comes Sandy. Leon with a walk and a line out to center, which he hit well, caught by Dyson. Only the 5th Red Sox hit all afternoon. Going after first pitch, he pops it up to right. And Cano with the catch, ever the style master. Now, for every Red Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Stop by your local Speedway and quench your thirst with a refreshing fountain soda or Speedy Freeze, any size, for just 69 cents. There are 2 down for Devin Marrero. Singled his last time up. He's gone 1 for 2. Red Sox just have not been able to string hits together. No matter who's been on the mound today for Seattle, they're leading it 3-0. Two down, Young aboard at first. Yankees have gone to the 9th, leading Oakland 9-5. One of the 3 teams the Red Sox will face on the upcoming road trip. Baltimore trailing 8-3 at Houston, and if the Orioles lose that, that's going to be 7 in a row for Baltimore. Red Sox have jumped past them into 2nd place. 2-1. Look at the AL East with the Yankees on top by 2 over Boston.
Here's a team that surprised me that got back into this thing pretty quickly with the Toronto 23 and 26, 3 games under 500, especially after the way they started the season. Still in last place, but they've come a long way.
Sure have. They've lost today. They lost to Texas 3-1, so that snapped a 5-game winning streak for the Blue Jays. Betts on deck. Marrero trying to get the inning to Mookie. 2 down. And backed up over the corner for a strike.
Cut fastballs to the inside part of the plate, just barely picking up the inside corner.
And Vincent with a 2-2. Red Sox were the beneficiary of a magical day yesterday by the left-hander Brian Johnson. A complete game shutout win. Seattle turning the tables today. They have shut out the Red Sox on just 5 hits to this point. Young off first base, the 2-2. Fouled out of play. Seattle with 3 runs on 14 hits, 1 home run. Young gets his lead, and now the 2-2 from Vincent. Downstairs for ball 3. The Red Sox would love to have Mookie Betts up there with a couple of men on here in the 8th inning. 1 ball away from that transpiring. Crowd would like to see it too. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. Little trickler right at the first baseman. Valencia will tap the bag and retire the side. No runs to hit, 1 left. We go to the 9th. 3-0 Seattle. Summary brought to you by Xfinity. Bergman was outstanding over 7 innings against the Sox today, allowing just 4 hits. Rick Porcello gave up 11 hits, but only 2 earned runs. Right now, he's on the hook, though. Red Sox hitting into 4 double plays. That's a season high. Several changes here for Boston now. As we go to the 9th inning, Benintendi moving from left over to center. Chris Young now in the game as the left fielder. Sam Travis in at first base. And Fernando Abad, the lefty, is now in the game. He's putting together a nice season, a 2.03 ERA, trying to keep the score 3-0, keep the Red Sox in it with at least a chance going to the bottom of the 9th inning. He'll get the top of the order for Seattle. Gene Segura 1 for 4. And looking at strike 1. The Red Sox have not lost since last Saturday in Oakland. And the 0-1 fouled away. They swept Texas after winning the finale in Oakland. Won the first 2 against the Mariners. And now John Farrell looking for some magic in the 9th. Offense has been very sleepy today for Boston. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Only 5 hits for the Red Sox on the afternoon. No runs.
Gamble on deck, and then Cano. Abad looking for a put away. The 1-2. Last foul. David Price, his long awaited 2017 debut coming up Monday afternoon from Chicago. As the left-hander, after a couple of rehab starts, is ready to go. And a 1-2. Liner toward right. That's down into the corner. Going to be a fair ball and take a bounce up into the stands for a double. So Segura on for the second time today. The 2-base hit to begin the 9th inning.
If that ball stays in play, you're talking about a minimum of 3 and maybe 4 depending on the bounce around the corner. There's that pitch away and a nice piece of hitting by Segura. He just goes with it. And when this ball got tracked, I thought it was going to stay in the ballpark, not bounce out of the ballpark and then run up the railings.
That's 15 hits for Seattle. Gamble has 1 of them. That came in the 7th inning. He's gone 1 for 4. It's really been the bottom part of their order that's done a lot of damage. Leon thrown down to second, knocked down by Bogarts as Segura gets back in.
We see it all the time. A bunt that's not made, in a sacrifice situation like this, the catcher will almost always try to pick the man off second base, but that ball had to be corralled by Bogarts.
Pitch was ball 1. Showing bunt and a strike this time. Red Sox have been out hit today 15-5. And come the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Betts, Pedroia, Bogarts trying to get on that scoreboard. Nobody out, a man at second, and a lot of speed out there in Gene Segura. Foul tip to the middle.
A couple of bunt attempts, they take it off, let him swing away, but swinging right through the fastball inside.
Blaine Boyer throwing in the Red Sox pen. Just called up from the Paw Sox, and Edwin Diaz, the right-hander, working in the Seattle pen. The 1-2. Till today, the Red Sox relief corps had not allowed a run or walked a batter in the last 4 games, over 7 2/3. But Hembree did allow a home run in the 8th. 2-2 floated foul out of play. The bullpen had been really good to this point in the winning streak. So finally, the Yankees have defeated Oakland 9-5. So the Red Sox must rally to stay 2 games back. If not, it'll be 3 heading to the road. 2-2 to Gamble. Will not be made as Leon takes time.
Now you can live stream any NESN Red Sox game on your favorite device. You can take the Red Sox with you whether you're on your way to the Cape or on the way to a Memorial Day cookout. Visit NESN.com or download the NESN Go app to try it out today. I'm going to have a Memorial Day cookout tomorrow on Michigan Avenue after the game.
Right on the avenue?
You want to join me?
I'd love to. What are you grilling up? Are you going to do some like barbecue chicken?
I don't know. We'll get a grill going. We'll throw anything on there. We'll be fine.
I like the way you think. 2-2 outside. A few may choose to join us there on Michigan Ave.
There may be a few people.
A few
there.
hundred,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Great city, Chicago. Looking forward to our stay there, and then it'll be on to Baltimore and then New York. Red Sox going for 10 games. And the 3-2 will not be made as Gamble steps out. Nobody out. Runner at second. Abad gave up the double. And now strikes out the next guy. Gamble caught looking.
That's a good pitch right there. I don't know why he's arguing. He got fooled on a breaking ball that time from Abad. You'll see this breaking ball break and come right over the inside part of the plate. Certainly not too high. And that's frustration right there from Gamble.
Second time he struck out today. Cano now. Robinson Cano 1 for 4 with a double back in the first inning. Despite a quad injury that put him on the DL, he does have 30 RBIs. Cano had high hopes of leading Seattle back to postseason play when he left the Yankees as a very expensive free agent and signed with the Mariners. No Octobers yet. Count 2-0.
Leon crossed up there. He was expecting a breaking ball or a changeup and got a fastball, and now the conference at the mound. You can see him right there as he turns the glove over. He was definitely crossed up, and by that we mean, you know, he called for a certain pitch and he didn't get it from the pitcher. They threw something other than what Leon was expecting.
And when that happens, you see this a lot. That pitch was a strike.
Yeah, exactly.
It was called a ball.
Exactly, and because of, you know, the way the catcher has to catch it, sometimes the umpires don't give them the pitch they deserve. I mean, that ball's right down the middle.
But the umpire gets confused about it. He's shaking it off with some laughter. But the count is 2-0 on Cano. One down man at second. And pop foul out of play. Segura leading at second. We're in the ninth inning. 3-0 Mariners. They have enough hits to have about a 5 or 6 run lead. 2-1 and inside. Remember when Abad came over in the deal to the Red Sox? Sox were in Seattle. He faced Cano when Cano took him out of the ballpark. with a back-breaking home run. And he pops a foul out of play.
That was on the breaking ball right there for Cano. And he had no doubt that that ball was out of the ballpark.
It was on August 2nd of last year. Three and two, one out. And Leon coming out again. It's kind of stuff you really want to see baseball kind of bear down on. The relentless mound visits. And frankly, I don't care which team's doing it. Love to see a limit on them.
That seems like, you know, every time somebody shakes off a sign, they want to go out to make sure to see what he wants to throw instead of going through another set of signs.
Three-two. Shot to center field. Benintendi turning around. That ball is gone. Cano strikes again against Abad. A two-run blow. That'll make it 5-0. He's got Fernando Abad's number.
Yeah, you know, we showed you a flashback of a home run in Seattle, and that was on a breaking ball. This time it's the fastball from Abad that he takes out of center field. And you'll see this fastball right down the middle, and Cano right back up the middle and up on the batter's hitting eye for the home run.
That is all for Fernando Abad, and Blaine Boyer just called up to the big league club, will make his appearance here. 5-0 Seattle, and we'll have more in a moment. Nothing Seattle, a two-run blast by Robinson Cano, and John Farrell will go back to the bullpen. Blaine Boyer, the right-hander, just called up from the Paw Sox for today, a veteran of 10 major league seasons, but this is his Red Sox debut.
And around with many different teams in his major league career.
And he's pitched for Atlanta, St. Louis, Arizona, the Mets, San Diego, the Twins, and most recently at the big league level with Milwaukee last year. And taking on Nelson Cruz, who has a 2-for-4 day going. Seattle has 16 hits and now 5 runs. And a pop-up round home plate, room for Sandy Leon, and makes the grab for the second out. And Seager will be next. Again, due up for the Red Sox in the bottom of the ninth. It's the top of the order. Betts, Pedroia, Bogarts, just trying to break up a shutout at this point after getting a shutout yesterday. And a memorable effort by Brian Johnson, who has been sent back to AAA. Seager is 2 for 4, single and a double. Mariners have hit a pair of home runs today. Scott Service and Seattle trying to get out of town with a win, trying to snap the Red Sox 6-game winning streak. And at this point, Rick Porcello would take the loss. Rick would dip to 3-6, and Christian Bergman would win it to go to 2-2. Red Sox did not do anything with the Seattle right-hander. 1-1, a strike.
Boy, his fastball still around 94, 95 miles an hour.
One, two. Popped into left. Young there for the catch and out number 3. But the Mariners have made it a lot tougher on the home run to center by Cano to make it 5-0. Pesky pole. The Red Sox down 5-0. It's actually the Fisk pole down there, way out in the corner. Well, Edwin Diaz appearing in his 20th game with a .419 earned run average and 8 saves in 10 opportunities, and he'll deliver strike 1 on Mookie Betts.
He's a hard throw at 96 with that first fastball.
He saved 26 games and 31 chances. Knocked down by Seager. Throw to first is offline, and Mookie Betts is on. So that's how the 9th inning gets underway for the Red Sox.
Once Seager bobbled this ball at third base, he had no chance to get Betts. Betts by the bag by the time the ball got to Valencia at first base.
That'll be an error. E5. So a little bit of hope here with the Sox trailing 5-0. Pedroia next. He's doubled, singled, and also flied to center. And the first one a strike. Bogart's next. Red Sox trying to just get on the scoreboard at this point against Diaz and Seattle. And pop foul out of play by Pedroia to make it 0-2.
Here's a situation where I believe if you're a base runner, you take absolutely no secondary lead because you're down by 5 runs. You don't want to be doubled up on a line drive to the infield. So you just take your regular lead and stop there till after contact, and then you decide where to go. Your run means nothing right now.
One and two. Red Sox need a major rally to keep the winning streak alive. Right now it's 6 in a row. Leadoff man bets aboard. Here comes the 1-2. Even on Pedroia. 2-2. Pedroia now hitting .296 and cuts and misses. Down he goes, strike 3. One away.
A pretty tough pitch you hit right there. 97 with that last fastball up and in on Pedroia. Dustin likes the ball up, but not in that spot right there, and not at that velocity.
One man out for Xander Bogaerts. He's gone 1 for 3 with a base hit. Xander has had 10 hits on this homestand. Sits safely in 7 consecutive games. He'll take that on the road with him to Chicago. And the 1-0. High and tight and spun him around.
That's one thing about Diaz. You know, he gets a lot of strikeouts, but he also walks a lot of guys. This fastball almost gets the shirt of Bogaerts.
In the first 4 innings today, the Red Sox hit into 4 double plays. It's a season high, and they've not hit into another one. 2-0 on Xander Bogaerts with Benintendi next. Popped up but fouled back out of play. Bogaerts is hitting .417 during this hit streak, which has included a home run. His first of the year. It came on Thursday, a 2-run shot. Two and two. Nothing Seattle. We are in the bottom of the 9th. Two run of holding, and a ground ball to Segura, and he bobbles it. That's their second error in the inning, and that would have been a double play to end the ball game.
Well, still life in the Red Sox. I mean, you catch a break here with Segura making the error. I mean, you're right, Dave. That's just not getting the ball down, the glove down on the ground. We always talk about working from the ground up. That time it was from up around the shins down to the ground, and you can't operate that way.
So the Mariners miss an opportunity to end the game on what would have been the 5th double play hit into by Boston. Benintendi has been doubled up twice today. He is 0 for 3. They'll pull the shift around to the right on him. 3 men on the right side. So it's Betts on at second. Bogart's on at first. Good speed out there for the Red Sox. Trying to climb into this game with 1 down in the 9th, trailing 5-0. And the Mariners are doing all they can to help the Red Sox get into the game. And he popped him up. Around third, coming on Heredia. Infield fly in effect, and the catch is made by the third baseman Seager as Heredia went down. They did call the infield fly, so that's out number 2. And Hanley Ramirez about to come up.
Yeah, Seager's got this one under control all the way, even though his left fielder is charging him. He's looking around. Where is this guy? Where would he come from? I got it. Don't worry about it.
Actually made some contact with the glove and nipped him on the elbow. So Hanley 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. The Red Sox have been missing that jolt of electricity on the offensive end all day. Despite 2 errors in the inning by Seattle, the Sox are down to their last man. One strike on Hanley. Nothing in 2.
That's pretty nasty right there. Slider. 89 miles an hour. You got to get geared up for his 97 fastball, and he drops this on you.
So Seattle 1 strike away from salvaging a win in the series and ending the Red Sox winning streak. And it ends on a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the end of the Red Sox winning streak. It is snapped at 6. Boston goes 5-1 on the homestand. Adam heading off to a 10-game road trip that starts tomorrow in Chicago.